Knives are cool. And axes too.
Hello everybody, I'm Robert Breaker. This is Knives Are Cool, an Axes 2 channel. And I've got some cool stuff here. If you like knives, you're gonna like what I got for you. I have always wanted these, let's just say that. Sometimes you get on this kick where you get on eBay and you're just scrolling through and looking at certain things and you're like, man, I wish I could afford that. Or, oh, I wish I could buy one of those. Oh, well, that's cool. I wish I could buy one of those. But you can't because you don't have any money or it's too expensive or things like that. But then sometimes you can go garage sailing and you can find things and you can afford things. One day I was on Highway 90 in Milton, and twice a year we do what's called Flee Across Florida. And all across Highway 90 from Pensacola all the way to Jacksonville, they put up garage sales. Anybody can come out and their grandmother and just sit on the side of the road and sell stuff. And so we're in Milton, Florida, and we're going along, and that's where I got one of my swords that I did a video on. And also I got this. And this is something I've always wanted. I just think this is so cool. Should I even show what it is? It's called a fruit knife. You know, you can click on something else. You don't want to see a silly fruit knife, right? Or do you? The thing about this knife that's so amazing is the value that's in the knife. It's not just the fact that the knife is cool and old and antique, but the metal of this knife is amazing. So without further ado, let's look at this one. And then I got this one the other day too. And I got it for about the price of scrap value, which is amazing. This is called let me put one aside, I'll show you one at a time. This is called a fruit knife. This one actually has some initials on it. It's called a fruit knife. And a fruit knife is a knife that you use for peeling and eating fruit. So it would literally be called a gentleman's fruit knife. But here's the cool thing about it. Guess what this knife is made out of? This knife is literally made completely of sterling silver. So this entire knife is silver. It's a silver gentleman's fruit knife. Right on there, we have sterling. It's not just the knife case that's sterling, the blade is sterling as well. So this knife is literally a sterling silver knife. So this will hold its value not for the fact that it's a cool antique, but the fact that what it's made out of is valuable. And this is the actual blade for different fruits, and this is what they call a seed picker. So let's say you peel your fruit, and then you come along and you're picking the seeds with that. So I was ecstatic about getting this. I got this thing for about $30. And you know what? It's about $30 worth of silver. So I came out ahead any way you look at it. And if silver goes up, this thing goes up. So this one's not all that spectacular, not all that beautiful. Sometimes they have more beautiful designs. But I'd go to eBay and dream sometimes, oh, I'd love to have one of those. And they're 90, 100 bucks. I mean, 3 times what they're worth. This one actually has initials on it. It looks like C, CH, or GH. So there's one. Now we go to a show were we in Birmingham, Alabama? We were close to Birmingham, Alabama, and this guy had one. I said, how much? And he told me, and I go, oh, well, that's way more. So I came back by on the way out, and I just threw out a number that I figured is probably the value of the silver in this thing. And he goes, fine. And so he was mad. He was like angry, you know, like, okay, I guess I have to sell it for that. I mean, it's funny when people angry sell. They're like, whatever. I mean, sometimes they got to pay for their table. So he sold me this one. Now check this one out. This one is even more beautiful. And this one, to me, the first one I showed you, this one, I think is made in America because of the stamp. And if you know anything about silver, you would know how to tell the difference between American silver and English silver. Well, this one's just stamped sterling. So it just says sterling. Okay, well, usually if it's from Europe, it has what's called mint marks. And if you look at this blade, there's the 3 marks. And usually a lion is for sterling silver. So this one's probably European, is what I'm thinking. And it is the same kind of knife. And you've got your little pick as well for your seeds. So we'll put them both out like that. But this one is just more beautiful. Okay, so you've got a longer, nicer, I mean, there's more metal in it. Look how much thicker this one is than that one. And look at all the beautiful scalloping around the side. It reminds me of something you'd see like like an old piece of silverware. It almost has the design like it's silverware. A scallop here. Then it has a crest here. This is where his initial should have gone, but there's no initial. And then there are the three. And boy, I don't know if you can zoom in enough on that, but one of those looks like a lion, the one on the left. So the one on that side would be the lion. So this is certainly sterling silver. And somewhere on the blade, yeah, it says sterling right there. And as you turn it over, somewhere it had a number. Remember that? Where it said how many ounces it was? Which was pretty amazing, but you didn't see it until you opened it all the way or something. So what we're going to do is take my gentleman's fruit knife, and we are going to see how a sterling knife will do on a piece of fruit. I sure hope I don't break my sterling silver blade. Now, how sharp and how strong is silver compared to steel? I have no idea. I mean, literally no idea. But what I thought I'd do is I'd come over here with this peach, and this is what it's made for. All right, it's cutting very well. Here we go. I don't know if I like the idea of all this acid in there on the sterling silver. Oh, look, I got to get that seed out. Oh, I don't know. How do I get the seed out? If I only had a little pick. Oh yeah, there we go. Let's pick the seed out there. Hey, it works. Ha-ha. All right. So, now sterling, as you know, has got a lot of antiseptic properties to it. So sterling is good. And here we go. Wow. So for the first time in my life, I've been able to use a gentleman's fruit knife to eat some fruit. Quite good, actually. What's happening? Why do I speak like this? Quite good, mate. No, I did turn into an Australian. I meant to be a gentleman. That is quite good, Rupert. Do you want some? Aye, lad, I do. Here, have some, beloved wife of mine. I am a gentleman now. I am part of the gentry because I have a sterling silver knife. So that's just really cool. So you can imagine in the old days, probably 1800s, early 1900s, your rich muckety mucks, uppity up people, they would probably have a regular pocket knife made of steel to cut things and do anything, do whatever. And then they'd have this as their little fruit knife. And this was their little sterling fruit knife. What do you think? You like a sterling fruit knife? I mean, wow, that's pretty cool. I always wanted one of those, but I wasn't about to pay 3 times what they're worth on eBay. So I was pretty happy to be able to get those for about the value of the actual silver in them. And I'm holding on to those forever. Those are just too cool. So knives are cool, especially when they're sterling silver. And they're good for making a cut. I was afraid that the sterling wouldn't cut very well through the actual fruit, but man, it cuts just as good as steel. So cool to have a sterling silver knife. I'm glad you were able to do that with me. Peaches are good. Knives are cool, and peaches too, and fruit knives. One thing I didn't do was an apple. Do you have an apple? Let's see what it looks like with an apple. It might actually be harder, because what kind of fruits? Like nectarines, peaches, they're not too hard. I wonder what a harder apple is like. We might as well do it while we're still here. Man, I love peaches. These are good. Here we go. Here's a big apple. Now watch me break the knife. I hope not. We're still on it. Well, it's going in. It's just harder for sure. So you just kind of go through there like that. Doesn't feel like it's going to break, but it could bend if I turn it the wrong way. So yeah, this isn't exactly for an apple, I guess. But it does cut out a slice, I guess. Okay. You pick it up like that. All right. So, are you a member of the gentry? Are you a gentleman? Do you have your gentleman's sterling silver fruit knife? If not, you got to get one. That is cool. All right, knives are cool, and apples too. And we'll see you. We'll see you next time on Knives Are Cool and Axes too. Take care. Bye-bye.
Knives are cool. And axes too.
Bullseye.